As any whitetail hunter knows, November is the time of year that we all live for. It's the feeling of the cool morning air on your face, the sound of leaves crunching, and the feeling of all your hard work coming to fruition that makes you coming back every year for more. But not all seasons are as fruitful as others. Most often than not, we go through more struggles than triumphs. The season's once hot start for the crew had now cooled off into a true October and November lull. Minimal close encounters with bucks were becoming all too common of a theme. November was shining a different light than what we had certainly dreamt it would be. But sometimes, in order to fill your tag in this magical time of the year, you just need to get a little creative.
Are you ready yet?
Are you ready yet?
I was ready a half hour ago.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Save the best for last. Alright. It's February 25th. It is cool out this morning. We got the truck loaded down. We're heading to Iowa. Over the past about year and a half, me and Melissa have been looking into potentially buying a home and starting something new in Iowa. And this past December we found a perfect little place. House was on the market. We decided to put an offer in and we got it accepted. So it's been a long wait, but today is finally our closing day. We're gonna head down, get everything signed and unpacked and settled in for the weekend, and then hopefully we have a little bit of time to enjoy ourselves and maybe go out and do a little shed hunting and stuff like that, because it's supposed to be beautiful out this weekend. It's supposed to get up into the 50s on Saturday, so very exciting.
Say I'm home.
We did it. We're home.
Where are you? Good morning.
You're getting me cleaning.
How are you doing?
I'm cleaning. I'm
Yeah,
not shed hunting yet.
but you're doing a great job.
Thanks. We're heading down south here tonight. It's June 8th. I was just doing a little research online and got a phone number to a guy that looked like he had some stuff potentially available for lease. So I contacted him this afternoon and talked to him for a little while, and he said come check one of these farms out. So we're driving down tonight. We're kind of pushing her for daylight. It's a little after 8 o'clock right now. Probably won't be able to do a full walkthrough on the property, but maybe a quick drive around and speed scout it just to see if it's something that we'd be interested in. It doesn't look too bad so far. This property actually lays out deer up there too. We've seen like 4 or 5 deer just walking these fields. We got a ditch system here that runs east and west. We got a field on the north side of it, on the south, and there's kind of some fingers that come out of it. So there's a little bit of bedding in here, nothing too crazy here, but it looks like there's decent bedding cover over there. So I'd like to try and get over there before dark, but we're kind of burning daylight, so we're gonna keep moving here. I was lucky enough to find a lease here a few weeks ago. Got everything squared away there. Actually, last time I was down to it a couple weeks ago, was able to get some cameras out and just kind of start monitoring the property, see what kind of bucks were on it. Wanted to get down there today. I have one other farm that I'm gonna put some cameras on, and then gonna try and get some stand work done. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get much done today. They're calling rain here this afternoon, but just wanted to get some cameras really in place today. Try and get some stuff set up so I can figure out what kind of deer I'm gonna be hunting this fall. Almost 5 o'clock in the morning here. We're heading down to the new lease I picked up this year. We got one stand and one ground blind left to do today, and we're gonna try and beat the heat. It's supposed to get up to 93 degrees today, so we're getting after it early this morning. This should be pretty much the last thing I have to do on the property here, and we're gonna let it soak until hunting season. She made pretty good time considering we had road construction. Took us on a little bit of a gravel detour most of the way. See what's on this bad boy. Ain't a bad buck. A little spike kite. GP says gotta be a buck from about 500 yards out.
Was I wrong?
No, you weren't.
I thought.
It might have been a forker. Slow night. I think we've only seen 1-2 little bucks. We got a few more minutes of daylight here, but a few does. It's still 85 degrees out though at almost 9 o'clock. So I'm sure that's not helping the case, but just wanted to get around tonight, check some deer out, see if we can find something big since JP was in town and kind of let him down. Well, it's November 7th today. Heading back home to Iowa finally. Been up in Wisconsin the last couple weeks. Hunting hard up there. Unfortunately, haven't had much luck. We've been on some really nice bucks. Things have kind of slowed down there, and I've been just dying to get back and do some hunting in Iowa. Just things haven't really been showing up like I hoped for on the lease. So I've been just holding off, waiting for something good to pop back up on the cameras. We got warm temperatures, unfortunately, this week. A lot of stuff against us, but it's November. We got to get in a tree in Iowa.
We're just vagabonds. We're just wanderers. There in the night sky, hoping for daylight. We're just vagabonds. We're just wanderers, searching for an insight into the world we leave behind.
It's 10 o'clock here right now. We had a couple bucks come filing through the CRP back here this morning. One of them came out on the far end about an hour and a half ago. We hit the horns at him and he came hauling. Got to about 75, 80 yards and cut up into the woods here. We had a little bit of wildlife in the creek this morning. We had a family of otters swimming up the creek. We had some ducks, coyotes running all over. Deer movement's been a little bit slow. It cracked light here this morning. We just were in the tree for about a half hour, 45 minutes, and looked down on the riverbank, and there's a buck laying dead right across the river from us, a nice one. I'm pretty sure he's one of my top 2 bucks that I had on the cameras here on the public. So I'm not sure what happened to him, but that's kind of discouraging to see that. We're gonna sit here probably a little while longer and kind of determine what we want to do, but I'm kind of starting to lean towards more checking a couple of these cameras on public that I don't have cell cams on, see what's going on them, and maybe try something on one of them spots in the afternoon, or try the lease tonight just to see kind of what's going on there. We didn't make it 50 yards. There's a little pocket of cedars here, and we kicked up like 3 does. I didn't get the binos on, but it was a pretty solid buck that was with them. Headed up towards where we're gonna hunt tonight, so maybe we're gonna bump and dump them. Came to the lease to hunt tonight, and all the crops are still standing around here. There's a lot of crops standing around within a couple miles of the lease here. which is, I think, part of the reason why I'm not getting the deer that I was expecting in here so far. I haven't been in here since I hung this set in June, and it looks freaking phenomenal in here. I mean, basically what we got, there's a creek to the north of us, and there's just a little bit of ash trees through this marsh slough right here, and there's just beamer trails coming 10 yards, 15 yards, 20 yards past this tree. But we got crops to the north, we got crops to the east, and there is quite a few deer in here we've seen already, so I got high hopes that we're at least gonna see some deer tonight. Hopefully we didn't mess it up too bad coming in here. But there's really no other way we can access it till the corn's off. It's a decent buck. He's gonna come right through here. About 20 minutes of light left here. Had an okay night tonight, minus the chaos on the entry. We ended up seeing a couple bucks from the tree. Looked like one 2-year-old, maybe a 3-year-old. I hit the horns here a little, I don't know, hour and a half ago. I caught a glimpse of one buck. I came, checked it out. Just caught him for a split second. Looked like maybe a 3-year-old deer. Not a bad buck, but this wind is going to be switching tonight to north in the morning. So that'll probably put us in the ground blind in the morning on the other side of the property. Just cracking daylight here. It's November 9th. We snuck into the ground blind here on the lease this morning. Cameras were kind of slow through the night on this property, but we came in here. We actually had to come through the corn and get a little creative in how we approach this blind. We've had 10 does and fawns come through already, which gives me a lot of confidence in this spot. Kind of surprised that nothing really big has shown up yet on the trail cameras. I got 2 cameras here that aren't cell cameras though, so maybe something on those that we're missing, but I got high hopes here, especially with all them does coming through, that we're gonna catch a buck on his feet this morning. Probably sit here a good portion of the morning. I'm not really sure where that's gonna put us in the afternoon, probably somewhere on public. I just don't want to overpressure this farm yet because I haven't got a picture of a really giant buck, so I'm wanting to get some sits in here just to see kind of what the deer do, and if we shoot a buck, it's a bonus. We're closing in on 9:30 here this morning. We actually had a pretty solid morning. We've seen 10 does and fawns. Then we had a little, I think it was a 1.5-year-old buck come through. But I think we're gonna probably get out shortly. I'd like to stay here longer, but I got 1 camera on public. That's quite a ways away I wanna check, and that's gonna kind of determine where we sit tonight. I'm guessing we're gonna end up on public somewhere. So we're gonna get out of here now and get some of these chores done, and we'll be back in the tree in the afternoon. We just got set up in the tree. It's been a struggle getting in here, but it's a beautiful spot. We're hunting a piece of public that I pulled a card on yesterday. We had a good buck yesterday morning come through here. Not a giant, but a solid deer. And then I had 1 or 2 other really nice bucks that have been coming through here. Nothing crazy big, but mature deer. There's a little bit of a travel road here. They built a bridge in here actually on this piece of public this summer. And so they created a road. I put my camera on here about a month ago and have had pretty good daylight movement of deer coming down this road. So we set the decoy out here tonight. Wind's a little bit iffy. It's blowing out of the northeast. So I mean, if we get a deer coming from this direction, it could get dicey. But I wanted to get in here so we could hunt this Thursday morning. There's a good west wind front hitting Thursday morning. So I think we should have a good chance of catching something cruising that morning. I wanted to get kind of stuff set up. That way we were good to go for that. That's a nice buck.
He was looking this way. He stopped and turned.
He ain't gonna leave that door though. That should do it, bud. Man, he put on a frickin' show. The drought is over for the crew. Night, night, Bucky kite. What'd I tell you, Jim? We had to get in this cedar.
Yep.
We're in like a 6-inch diameter cedar tree. But I said this was the one we had to be in. Jorge, nice work. Good game. Blood here. We got a buck right over here. And the best part is he didn't die in the bottom.
Yeah.
Well, here it is. It's November 9th in Iowa. Jim picked this deer out right before he dropped down in the ditch. I actually probably wouldn't have seen him if he didn't pick him out. And first thing it is, I grabbed the antlers, started banging him away. It turned him. He jumped the fence just perfect and read the script. I couldn't be happier with this buck. My first year in Iowa, really learning the ropes this year, hunting public and trying to get on some private pieces, and it's been a tough go, but I'm really happy, really happy with this buck. As the phrase goes, you can't start a fire without a spark. By wrapping my tag around an awesome Iowa buck, I was hopeful this was the change we needed to start turning the month of November around for us. We have a lot of the rut left ahead of us, and with any luck, our best days are still yet to come. It's a wrap.